Secrets of the Silent Witch. Brand new anime. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this one. It's technically about this witch that's one of the seven sages. So basically, she's one of the seven most powerful mages in this world. And the good thing about it is she's OP, but she's also has a very glaring weakness to her, which is that she's shy and constantly anxious around people. She doesn't really know how to get over her own anxiety, so that's really what holds her back for most of it. And of course there's the plot of her going to go back to the academy thanks to one of her seven sages colleagues or whatnot. So this story takes place in this kingdom that is constantly being raided by dragons, and it is said that most of the times you meet a black dragon is when every hope is completely lost. But and we see one of those appear right as our main protagonist Monica, the Silent Witch, starts to appear, and basically it jumps us off to what happens afterwards, where it's just Monica just back at her own home. She's very secluded. Seems to be just a random house in the middle of the forest. She's surrounded by a bunch of textbooks. She's been doing a lot of equations. So this one little girl shows up and comes to brings her food and all her other needs. And essentially, she lets her know, like, hey, I saw one of these mages guys come to try to get with you. But this little girl ends up bringing Lewis along with her, giving him directions to where Monica was, because he has told her explicitly that he wants to go see her. And Monica's kind of like, oh, you're kind of like a math whiz just like her. So like, figured like, Monica's out there alone. She could use some company. And this is where we learn about what makes Monica special. Is that in this world, humans aren't supposed to be able to manipulate mana without incantations, but because Monica is able to do so, it brought about like a great shift in the world, and kind of made her one of the strongest, because while others had to rely on incantations, she alone, with her own imagination and her own perseverance to not want to be able to speak in front of people or to talk to people, developed this sort of trait to be able to do it. So it's like an anomaly. She made the impossible possible. But unlike her, nobody else has been able to replicate this. So that's why she was dubbed as one of the strongest at such a young age. I think she was like 16. She's 16 at the time, and Lois is in here trying to get her to do his job, because apparently he has a mission to protect the second prince once he enters this academy. And so because Lewis has to be there protecting him, and he can't really be there protecting him like how he wants, because the prince wants to be protected, but with that being like really noticeable, it makes it like the perfect job for Monica, who doesn't have to incantate anything to be the one that protects the prince. But not only that, there's also this other difficulty around to it, where because nobody can know that she's the Silent Witch, they kind of Lewis makes up this whole backstory of her, how like there's this girl whose mother rose her up from poverty and had a really happy life, but then eventually the mother ended up passing away, and the daughter of this mother starts mistreating her, and basically this person becomes a servant to the daughter. That's the role she has to play, as well as being able to protect the prince. So now we get like she's playing two roles, one as a protector and one as the servant to this noble that is entering school. And to be able to do this, she kind of has to get in the favor of this other princess that she didn't actually know at first, but then once they started meeting, she realized that this princess actually means well to her. Like, this princess actually acknowledges her strength and knows she's all powerful. Like she even decides, look, I'm gonna be the one that helps you out during this role. I'll play the role of the evil daughter, and I'll make sure to mistreat you whenever people are around, so that your cupboard never gets blown up. And this is where we find out what really ended up happening once the black dragon arrived, and once she arrived at the scene, and how it was just this beautiful animation of how magic was just like coming from the sky, raining down thunders, and how she was able to obliterate every single dragon that attacked the kingdom. And and because of that, the princess feels like she's indebted to her, and that's why she asked to be allowed to play this role in order to help her. So really interesting stuff. I do like the cat familiar that Monaco has, Nero. It seems like he's gonna be really nice comic relief moving forward, and I do love how well connected you can feel to Monica. How people within societies can actually be be seen and have this way to real have this way to showcase what it means to be socially anxious, and how to over hopefully we get to see how she overcomes that social anxiety through the season, and maybe going back to this academy will uh enlighten her, or make her break out of a shell and finally be able to talk. And not only that, but hopefully, or perhaps be able to use different spells that require that can only be done through incantations. uh but she's so powerful that when the dragons attacked, there was like no casualty. So I thought that was really interesting. It's a really nice cozy anime so far. I hope moving forward we get to see more of the action we saw towards the end of the first episode, and really dive more into Lois and the other seven sages, because it seems this anime in this series has a lot to offer in terms of world building, and in terms of how we came to be in this world that's kind of dominated by dragons, and how the other people kind of oppose it. So I'm looking forward to that. And with that, I think I'm gonna rate it a 8 out of 10. And if you enjoy what I discussed, the anime I talked about, just leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and until next time, bye.